everybody! Welcome back to the dumbest modeling channel on all of YouTube, Pit Stain Hobbies. We're back on the amazing Agora AH-64 Apache. We got Pack 7 here. Pack 8 is inbound. Why is it inbound so quick? I can tell you in the next video. But yeah, we're going to continue building on the Apache today. And I'll tell you, ooh, when a sexy helicopter with a loadout of Hellfire missiles shows up, I'm just like, yes, please. Thank you. We've got a whole bunch of parts here. So I'm obviously, like I said, I'm saving weapons stores for later, and parts I'm not using at all, like the skids, I'm not gonna really waste time on. I think. Ooh, what is that? A little baby tail wheel in there. That's so cute. These look like some brimstone missiles. Either way, we got to start with stage 48, which is, holy crap. All right, let me get this out of here. Put that off to the side. Oh, OMFG, as they say, as them youngins say on the Twitters and the Instagrams. Which I'm on neither. Lucky I'm on Facebook. I don't know. They're going to start calling me a boomer soon, I guess. No idea. Let's see here. Oh, that fuselage goodness. Make sure everything's out of the baggie. And then we got a piece of plastic in here with more little bits of hardware and all those little pokey tiny bits and handles. We're probably going to leave these off until we get closer to painting it because I'm going to snap those things off. We got a whole bunch of other little bits here, and we've got a big green lensy thing here. Jeez, oh God. What if I used Todd's website, myapachelongbow.com, and actually did not sound like a complete moron? Let me go to stage 48 on Todd's website. There we go. That's the instructions I prefer to use. Gore's instructions are just peachy, but oh man, Todd he gives good instruction. That came out sounding weird. Here we go. Oh, this looks really good. Focus. Thank you. My camera's voice activated. When I yell at it, it focuses. The rivet details all look absolutely stunning. It's a really good paint finish on here. It's fairly matte to begin with. I'm obviously gonna be doing a lot of paint work to this thing. We got some little handles and those things. Let's follow the instructions here. See what we need to do. Where are the screws? There we go. CM screws. That's all we get. So that's all we need, I guess. Wait a second. Was there supposed to be decals? I didn't see decals. Did you see decals? I saw no decals. You know what? They're probably in the box somewhere. Let's not worry about that now. I will find them. Let's see here. Okay, scrolling through Todd's site. We got lots of decals. Okay, so we're gonna take this little fella here. Let me zoom in a little bit closer to the build area, and we are going to put it right on here. All right. And then we're going to get a CM screw in that hole. BRB. All right. So now we're going to take this plate, and notice one of those posts is a little taller than the other. We're going to flip this over, and we're going to put this in with the taller post over this stud here. Sorry about my hands, still healing up from the dogfight. All right. So we got that down there, and we're going to put likely 2 CM screws. So we're gonna also make sure to push it down fully. Make sure it's fully seated. You'll get a pretty positive click when it's all the way in. 2 CM screws there, right here and here. Sorry about the gash. I'll be right back. Okay, so that is screwed in. Okay, looks good. Now we gotta get the little what are these? The high DAS sensors. I already squeezed one in right there. And we're going to put the other sensor in here. And this is, these detect incoming weapons and keep automatically, you know, like deploy flares. Or Todd's got all the good info on his website, by the way. Definitely go to myapachelongbow.com to build yours. You'll learn so much. He does some paint details on these lenses. I will do after I paint the model. And now we've got like, so look at this, what we're doing. We're laying it on its side right now. And we're going to be handling this a lot. So I agree 100% with my buddy Todd. And these little handles, we are not going to permanently install them. I will dry fit a few of them, just so we see where they go. Let's see. Let me get these But did I just drop that? Oh, jeez. I'll be right back. Okay, so just so we can see where everything goes, little 48G goes into these holes. And then looks like 48E will go into this hole. 48D, which looks like that, will go into that hole. And 48F will go into this hole. Okay, so you got those there and that one back there. And these are plastic. I am going to now carefully remove these. I found the other one. It didn't even hit the floor. It just landed on my bench. And it's so small. So either way, those little guys, same thing with this long and short handle. We're just going to not use them at the moment. We're going to put those away. We are going to put on some other small details, though, that should not be easily destroyed. Here we go. Yeah. This little antenna. And this is going to go right on the top in there. And I would put some Crazy Ex-Girlfriend glue on that, just to play it safe. Just a little dab will do you. Also, the glue acts kind of as a lubricant until it dries, so like it lets you push it into the hole nice and easy. So just like that. Okay, we got a little squirrely looking thing here. This little antenna. This is supposed to go right back here, facing backwards, like so. But I'm not going to glue it in yet. And we got a couple other things here. These I might glue in because it's filling something up. Is there anything else in this bag? Oh my God, there's a microscopic little piece. I'll be right back. Let me get the parts out. Definitely time to break out the magnifiers. We needed this. Can you even see that? It's microscopic, but it's got to go in this little hole here, pointing outwards. So, oh, for fudge's sake, let's get a little Crazy X glue on here. There we go. Yeah, we have a history. Oh, son of a! This part is so friggin' tiny. I just about crazy glued it to my workbench. It's so small. This is potentially the tiniest part I've ever put on anything. It is very small. Very, very, very small. You gotta like push it down there. So we're gonna use I think the tweezers to get it down. Okay. So that's focus. That's in there like that, facing outwards. Oh my God, it's small. Can't even focus on it. We're gonna let that dry because then we have to come back and put this part on. So that should be fun. And this looks like a wire cutter. I think that's what it is. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a wire cutter. So if the helicopter accidentally flies into a wire, it'll skim over the top of the canopy and get cut by this, hopefully, before doing any major damage to the rotors, either the main rotor or the tail rotor, or other parts of the helicopter. I've been flapping my lips for so long, I might be able to just glue this on now. And there we go. Let's see. What are we having for dinner tonight? What's everyone eating? I want to know, because I'm hungry. I think I'm gonna have, not the usual answer. I think I'm gonna have some. I have a leftover cheesesteak sub in the fridge upstairs. I think that's what I'm gonna do. We gotta get this fella into its little home. There we go. Okay. I'm putting this one on because it's kind of going to be fiddly to, I don't know. It needs to be on because there's two holes there going into the cockpit. And if I'm painting the model and any paint goes over that area, it would go right into the cockpit and mess up the cockpit. So that's why this one's going on now. Man, I wish I could tell you what I want to tell you about this model and where it's going. I'll have to wait for the next video, though. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's see. So that's on there. That's on there. Great, great. Some more handles we're supposed to put on this side right here and here. Those are those two other little handles we had laying around. I'm not putting them in until we paint. So now we've got the big lens. Get that out of the... Come on. Oh, for fudge's sake. And, yeah. So, the thicker part is the back of the lens. And the thinner part is the opposite of that. That's the front. So what we're going to do, turn the fuselage upside down. And we're going to push this fella onto these two pegs here. And it does not stay on its own. It's not a press fit, so it needs a little bit of crazy glue on the posts. And since it goes in from the inside, we have to install it now, or else I would have waited to install it because we're going to be painting this. So there we go. I'll just have to do some liquid mask over it. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for now, and I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, well that's all glued in, and it should be kind of tipped up at the back a little bit, just so you're aware. And now we're going on to stage 49. Let's peel that open. This has a lot of little things in it, lots of things. Oh, come on. Let's see what we got here. We got a bunch of parts, bunch of things. I'm also, there's a bunch of little parts here that are supposed to go on the bottom of the tail boom. I'm not putting those in just yet. I'm gonna put them in closer to when I'm ready to paint. Let's get all these out of here. And let's see here. Okay. So again, there's some parts. I'm kind of speed building this, FYI, if people haven't figured that out already. I'm sort of doing a speed build here because I've got to take this model somewhere to a hobby show. We got some windows. Excellent. Excellent. We're going to pre-mask these windows before we install them, I think. It's probably going to be easier. I got some more hydras. Those are going off to the side. You got another hydra rocket pod. I'll build that later. I've got little interest in getting that done right at this moment. You've seen them built before in previous episodes. Let's see, we've got some windshield wipers. Those are probably not going to go on just yet. And this is part of the Hydra rocket pod. That's not going to go on. We've got a little round thing, and we've got a little square thing. And we got some stands for the Hydras. And are there any other parts? Oh, look at this. They actually pre-put the magnets in this Hydra. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. And carefully storing the tail section to prevent damage. So we're going to the tail pod plate 48P. 48. Oh, we got another part here. Okay, that goes in the tail boom that we're not going to put in just yet because I'm sure I'm going to break it. Let me scroll past that. So 49, let's go over here. Okay, let's see what we're doing and not doing. Okay, we're going to put the windows in. Before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to mask these windows off and trim off the edges of the tape. So when I pop them in, they're already masked off and, like, you know, ready to go for painting. That's my plan here. So let me get these windows masked up real quick with some, what are we using? We're going to use our yellow frog tape. Very good masking tape, very similar to like Tamiya masking tape, but obviously much cheaper for the amount you get per roll. So let me get masking, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so we have all our windows masked up, and we're going to start with the front main windscreen here. What we want to do is get the bottom tabs in first, and then snap in the top. Okay, we got that one in. And then we're going to go with the top of the canopy there, snap that. These really don't want to snap in very well. I might have to use a little, yeah, I might need to use some canopy glue. In this case, I have two options for glue. Let me get them out. Okay, so when you're dealing with clear parts and you really don't want them to fog, we have the, Stalwart, the Testors clear part cement, and we also have this Gator's Grip. We can use either of these and put a little dab of glue, and we want to, what I forgot to say also was we want to, after I'm putting this masking tape on, if you're doing this stage, even if you're not, use gloves and make sure you've cleaned the inside of your glass with some IPA on a towel to wipe off any fingerprints. So this one snaps in reasonably well. This one, when I was trimming off the tape, I might have actually trimmed off a bit of the locking tab. So this may not be a normal thing where it's a little wonky. And then we're going to get this top one in, And let's wipe that down. Make sure that's clean. And let's see, we're gonna matching lower slot and the red arrow. That one snaps in nice. This one will need a tiny tap of glue probably, but that's no big deal. We can deal with that. And then we're gonna do some side windows. Let me get a little more alcohol squirted onto my paper towel here. Get this really long window, clean it up well. We're gonna get the bottom mounted in its slots, and then we're gonna push from the inside a little to bend the window, and that'll snap in the top. And I'm pushing with the alcohol-soaked towel. Otherwise, put on rubber gloves for that. We're gonna get this last window snapped into place here. And again, we're gonna have to... Oh, son of a... Don't break it, Ian. It's gotta go to a prestigious event soon. There we go. So there's all our screens in, and they're pre-masked, which is beautiful. Got a little... Yeah, that top one. She don't want to stay in. So I'm gonna put a little dab of clear part cement right on the top of it, I think. And to just hold it in. But give me a sec, I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, these are all... Well, this is glued in. I also glued this one in while I was at it. They were the only two that would like kind of pop out real easy, and it was probably because when I was putting on the mask and going around it with the X-Acto, I probably nipped the little tabs there, because I'm pretty sure they snap in a lot better than that on Todd's website. Now what we've got to do is we need the flare dispensers. Flare, chaff, they do something. So we have these guys here, and let me pull Todd's website back up. So this one's marked, I think... Yeah, this one's marked with an L, and that's going to go right in here. We're going to shove that in there. We're going to glue that in, okay? And then this little rear warning sensor, that's also going to go in here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And let me get those popped in. And we have to assemble one more. We have to assemble the right side flare launcher, like so. Just snap those together, a little dab of glue, and they'll be married and live a long, happy life on the tail, boom, of my Apache. And then we also can assemble this little guy here, just like that. And we're not going to install this just yet, I don't think. But yeah, let me get those knocked out, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so we got stage 50 here. Come on, focus. And we got all our little chaff and flare things, or flare dispensers. This one's built but not installed. That goes on the back, I think, facing possibly rearwards, I'd assume. And then pack 50, we've got more Hellfires. I'm gonna do like a build frenzy on Hellfire missiles, because I want to mod all of them like Todd did. So most of these parts I'm not going to use right now. So the Hellfire missiles and their little fins are going to stay in the baggies, as are the storage crates. Those will stay in the baggies. We do have this one part. So part 50L, we also got this thing in 50. We already got one back in stage 15. But I guess we're going to install it now. I'm a little confused, but whatever. And we got to pull out these two little silver pipes from that stage. And I think we want to have it with the L facing backwards. Let me zoom in right quick here. I want to have it with the L facing backwards. And we're going to put it into the D-shaped holes. Bottom pipe and the top pipe, just like that. And they stick in there pretty well, but I'll put a little glue on them. But then we're going to stick that into these two holes right in here. We're going to do that with some glue as well. Now, I'm hopping on a live stream, and as I stated, without any specificity, this thing has to be at a pretty big model show this year. So I'm in a time pinch. So this is not going to be like a normal, thorough, in-depth. I'm going to be speeding through some of this build. I may skip over a little. I will recap anything I do on a live stream. If you're not watching the Hobby Time Modelers already, you should. Friday night live stream, April 18th, 2025. And I'll be working on this. Probably start with stages, 51 and moving forward. Some of that is display base, which I may just kind of save up and do later. But yeah, there we go. So I'll be back with whatever the results are from what I get done in my live stream session. See you in a bit. Okay, well, we got a bit of progress done on the live stream. Obviously, we got 50 done. By the way, use the black plate that comes in 50 and not the black plate that comes in stage 15 with these silver tubes. It's a little taller. It doesn't quite fit right. So that's a little shorter part. You want to make sure you use that right part. I've made some progress. We built the 30 millimeter chain gun, which is just freaking awesome. And, fun fact, I don't know if Todd's going to go over this one, but the GAU-8 Avenger rotary cannon, or, Gatling gun on the nose of the 810 Warthog, it's also a 30 millimeter. But not all 30 millimeters are created equally. This is a nice 30 millimeter chain gun, but it's like 30 millimeter by like 116. That's the length. And the one on the Warthog is like 30 millimeter by like 173. It has a lot more chutzpah behind the shell. So like, it's a higher velocity cannon than the 30 millimeter chain gun. But I guess running a chain gun on Warthog ammo probably wasn't the most efficient thing due to the weight of the ammunition alone. So yeah. So, 30 millimeters is not always 30 millimeters. 30 millimeters is the width of the shell, but the amount of whoop-ass behind it is slightly different. Not saying this is not an effective weapon. It certainly is. But yeah, I've never seen one of these things live fire. I got to find a tour, like an open house or like a range day, because I can go to Fort Benning. We could see the tanks and the other things do their stuff. But we didn't have any helicopters there. Wonder where we do that. So now we've made some progress. We did more stages. We went into Pack 8. I added some of these AK real color markers. I think there's a link below to Michigan Toy Soldier. You can get your set of these things. But I used some Hellground and some Signal Red just to do a little bit of highlighting on the connectors on that part. And a little bit on that part. And now we've got this little thing here with this clear window. And I think what happened was when they were taking photos of an Apache, this is actually the exhaust for the HVAC system, according to Todd, which I believe because he's done a ton of research. So we're going to put some mesh over this clear plastic. And for that, I have a few options, but I have some different hobby micro meshes. I may just use the black mesh, or I could paint some metal. I have some actual metal mesh, and I'm going to get a little mesh over that, but it's not important right now. What is really important right now is clicking the links below, of course. But other than that, is stage 65 here. Is a bit of a tricky one. The instructions are a little wibbly wobbly. I think they're gonna get updated before you guys get Pack 8, guys and gals, whatever. You're gonna get some probably slightly modified instructions from what I'm looking at. I'm looking at some kind of draft instructions. Or early revision instructions. But yeah, we're going to we get this big thing here. So this is going to be the avionics bay and ammunition door area. This is very nice. This is the right side. Yes, that's the right side. And what we've got to do is build up a little folding door on the side of this fella. We do have a little clear part, which I am not going to put on, but I am going to mark it with a marker that it's stage 65. Because I'm leaving off the clear parts until after I paint, and then I'll pop those in post-mortem. But yeah, we got a couple hinges here, and E and F. So we have 2 different hinges, and we have 3 different plastic plates, and they're all unique and a little tricky. So let me get these kind of staged, and then I'm going to show you how they all go together. I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. So I put a little bit of mesh in between the glass and the plastic face, and this is some Tamiya mesh that you often get with 16 scale tanks. It's like a nylon mesh, and it's a good look. It's supposed to have a mesh on it. I may change the mesh out in the future, I'm not sure, but this will just shove into here, around that way, or like that. I'm not going to put that in just yet. What we are going to do is we're going to start installing our, which way does this go? I think it goes this way. Yes. Okay. We're not putting this in yet. We're just dry fitting this for now, just so you can see where things go when they go. Okay, because this door is going to screw onto these 3 studs here in the near future. That'll be your little, one of your avionics bay doors, I believe. Quite nice. And then this is going to be your, I think, ammo reloading door, I believe. So to put that together, you gotta, it's a little bit of a juggling act. So you have this panel, and you want it like that, with those 3 little studs right here, and these fellas facing that way. And then this hinge, see how that is? You want it like that, again, going this way. And then this middle piece, okay, with its 6 little studs facing up, that's going to go in the middle. Then this hinge is going to be like that, and it's a little wider on the outside, so that now our part's going to go towards that center plate. And then this part has those 3 studs, and the hinge is going to go on top of those 3 studs. So the hinge holes all go on top of those studs, and you just glue them down. Part of my throat clearing. So I'm going to get those glued down. I'm going to show you how it should look when it's done. I'm going to give you a side view. My friend Todd sent me some preview shots from his website of Stage 8 that aren't even up online yet. We're all working kind of like in advance of some people. Him to work on possibly refining instructions, and me to get this ready, final say it, for the IPMS Nationals at Agora's request. So yeah, this will be driving 10 plus hours with me to Virginia to the IPMS Nationals in August. Oh, fun times. Another 10 hours each way drive to a model show. No, I've never been to the IPMS Nats. It is a great honor to be invited, you know, by my buddies at Agora, but it's also cool. I've never been to one before. So like Wonderfest is my Nats, but this will be the IPMS Nats, so it's kind of a big deal. Let me get those glued down real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, well, by the time any of you get to build this, Todd's, my, hold on one moment, please. MyApacheLongbow.com, yes. His his pack 8 instructions will be up, but that's what it's supposed to look like assembled. See that? Just like that. You got to squeeze these together when you're crazy gluing them. Squeeze on the edges with some smooth jawed pliers. And then what will ultimately happen is there's 3 tiny holes at the bottom, and this will slot in there like so. And then the door will close up over that compartment. So there we go. And we just kind of press fitted this in for a minute just for funsies. And for more funsies, let's press fit this fella on there. There we go. Cool, right? So that's the front, that's the back. So yeah, very nice. And the last stage of Pack 8 is 66, this staircase thing. I'll build this whenever. It's so simple. It's almost not even worth doing on camera. But also, you know, I'm doing all my loadout of equipment at the end of the build when I start painting everything, because I'm going to be doing custom Apache missiles and all that other stuff. We got chaos. We got more of these brimstone missiles, which are, it turns out, according to Todd, he did the research, like 80% of this missile is actually a Hellfire missile. This is a British version. So 80% of it's like a Hellfire, but the seeker head and possibly the explosive part is British, and it's a millimeter wave radar seeker head on it instead of an optical radar seeker. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, brimstone missiles, but we're building a Japanese Apache. So yeah, it's going to have a very specific loadout of Hellfires and Hydras, and that's it. I think that's all we'll do. I don't think I'm putting the Stingers on it. I think I'm going to leave the Stinger missiles off, because I've not seen them in any actual file photos of JG SDF Apaches anywhere. That being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the useless trivia bits about the 30mm chain gun rounds versus the GAU-8 Avenger rounds. And we'll see you next time on Pit Stay and Hobbies. Pretty soon again for more speed building of this, because we need all those packs very soon to have this ready by August. Adios, everybody.